Class 3 over the 1200 metres, our final race on the programme, and we finished strongly here. Handsome Bobo, 3 from 6 course and distance at last season. Zach Purton arrived from barrier 5, top weight here. Figure Fame, 4th on his debut back in July behind Cruising. Affluent Start, placed twice course and distance last season. Dark Knight moved from Chris So to Peter Ho. John Moore and Victor Wong team up with Beauty Energy. Aero Happiness, 1 out of 2 last season, moves into Class 3. And Lucky Guy is drawn barrier 1, but more than likely, well, certainly on previous form, we'll be going backwards. So again, back at the touchscreen to have a look at this one, Brett. And as far as pace is concerned, well, Handsome Bobo liked to get up and rolling last season, but they have some competition with our likely favourite Aero Happiness, I'd have thought. Yeah, well, he looks a young, progressive type who has a lot of natural pace, and Handsome Bobo and him may dispute the lead together. California Gung Ho from the 11. Sam Clipperton may roll forward and try and look for a spot potentially in between them or in behind them. And it could be a little bit of a pest initially. If High Five can step well, he can hold a forward spot, and that's, I think, a real positive for him. Of the others, I think it's worth noting that Affluent Start was a very, progressive, smart type before he had some issues. He did close off in a recent trial to win. Figure Fame is another horse that has won a recent trial. Yeah, so some nice progressive horses, Paul. What have they been looking like in the morning? Yeah,
Handsome Bobo being one of those, and here's the first one we're going to have a look at here with Zach Purton aboard, just with Regency Darling on the far side. Closest to us is Handsome Bobo. He's going well. He just gets his head up a little bit at the end. He sort of climbed the ratings pretty quickly last season. He has to carry the top weight. This horse only had the one start and sort of caught everyone's eye when he ran 4th. Francis Lloyd's got him. He just got barrier 12, which just could be a bit of a problem. But he hit the line really strongly, I thought, at his last start, or his only start. And Aero Happiness has looked good from his 2 starts to date, one of them being a win, of course. A nice, big, strong horse who's had the benefit this off-season now. And John Si's just got him ticking over nicely.
All right, we'll certainly be having a look at him in a moment. We're going to start off, though, with our top weight, and that is Handsome Bobo. He rattled off a sequence, 3 wins, and then just lost his way for a couple of starts before he came back with this effort, ultimately finishing 3rd behind Bold Stitch. Yeah, he obviously goes well for Zach Purton. There were sort of suggestions that he was potentially a little bit tired towards the end of last season, but he'd done a fair bit. He did win 3 races from 7 in the end, had a 3rd and a 4th. So a little bit of time to recover in the off-season. Now top weight. I actually think he'll be a lot more effective at the bottom of Class 2 with no weight, but he's obviously got to get to that stage yet. Yeah, I've got him in there for 2nd. I think he's a nice horse, but he's got to give a horse like Aero Happiness 17 pounds, which is quite a lot of weight. You can see even there he was tiring. I know the track was a little bit wet that day, but he was tiring in the final stages. His trial, though, on Carnival Day looked OK? Yeah. It was the signs of a fresher horse. All right, OK. Well, Aero Happiness, every chance he's going to be all the rage here, and we're going to have a look at him in action. Karis Teeton will take over. Joe Moreira was on board, of course, last season. Let's see him in race action first. Big strapping son of Zachinto, who is over 1,200 pounds, got a lovely fluent action. He can take a little bit of time to sort of get into rhythm. There is quite a bit of pressure in this race in the initial stages with horses like Handsome Bobo and maybe 1 or 2 others. I mean, Affluent Start was forward in a recent trial, so was Figure Fame. He got nutted here by a big price winner in Gracious Rider. But I think he's got plenty of natural ability and he's going to be a lot stronger going into his 2nd prep. He needs to improve from that to take this next step up, and the trial that we're going to have a look at now suggests that he probably has. So, look, I think he's going to be tough to beat at the weights. He had barrier 11 on that occasion as well, so he had to work quite hard to find the front. That might have paid in the closing stages. Barrier 3 this time round. So this is the trial. Obviously pretty horrid conditions on this morning, but that aside, he looks in good shape. He's had 2 trials and he's led in both of them and won both of them, and Zach Purton's been aboard in both of them. Karis Teeton will take the ride, obviously, with this fella having to carry the 116. Zach can't get down to the weight, but Zach will know his capabilities. The biggest problem for him, for me, is the pressure initially. I think if he gets into stride, gets into the rhythm that he needs to, he's a big, strong horse, big striding horse. If he can sort of get into the action that he wants and gets moving, and he'll be very hard to stop. But if he gets all stop-starty, he could potentially lose his action and maybe things could go awry. But I think Karis will be well aware of that. All right, we've already actually seen this trial. We're looking at a different horse earlier on. This is Affluent's Start. as far as how he has summoned ahead of his return?
Yeah, he's dropped a bit of weight, body weight, 45 pounds leading into this particular race. But he gets a good draw. Danny Shum trains. He raced at Happy Valley last time. I don't think he was suited by Happy Valley. Prior to that was a really good second behind Radiant Steed, and I do like the trial. So I found a spot for him on a minor line.
Had a tendon issue back in March, but he's a nice enough type. He's on a rating of 70. I certainly think he can go higher. He's also been gelded in the time that he's had off.
All right, OK, let's Affluence start. Aero Happiness, Paul, is our favourite.
Yeah, well, at the weights, I think he looks tough to beat. So he's on top to beat Handsome Bobo. Affluence Start, I think, is an improvement. So is Lucky Guy, really well rated at the moment. So went 11, 1, 6 and 12. And I threw Affluence Start into the QQ piece.
Yeah, you can see in the early betting, another one from the Dennis Yipyard that's come up short in betting for a place anyway, Lucky Guy. Aero Happiness for me, Handsome Bobo, High Five. Tianchi Monster, I thought trialled OK on Carnival night, 11, 1, 9 and 5. I've included the 12 in my little trio there because he's dangerous. I think.
Yeah, Aero Happiness, hard to beat here, I think. As far as statistics are concerned, Benno Young and Zach Purton, we're honing on a high, Paul.
Yeah, I just alluded to that earlier on. You can see 52 times since 2016. They've had 9 wins, 9 seconds, 5 thirds. So really good first 3 rate. And City Legend, I think, can add to that. His trial's been very good, and I think he'll go a really good race. So keep an eye on that combination throughout the season when they do team up.
Yeah, Sea Legend's definitely in for me. Best bets though, Paul?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cheerful Giggles. I think he'll be a price, and he's got Group 1 form in Australia, and he's dropped all that rating points. Starry Enoy likewise. He dropped so many rating points last season, and he's got to get the race run to suit. And the player of the day in race number 9 with Star of Yenoi around top of the favoured runners, Encore Boy and Shimmer and Shine.
Be interesting to see if you got your poker face on tomorrow, Paul. Pair of 3s and a pair of 9s for the best bet and long shot. I'll take you on with my pair of 5s, my winner. 4-9 loaded. Deal me out with that one. Best play is race 3, circuit number 2, the Banker, with 2, 3, 5 and 8.
All right, need to get one home as far as best bets are concerned. So it all rides on Aero Happiness in the last. Will be favourite, but I think he's just too good at the race at the weights 10 and 11. And Callum Murray on Mr. Wealth. I think on the all-weather he'll be okay, Mr. Wealth, this season. Race 6, number 9. Handsome Bobo out front start and Aero Happiness. The QP for me again in the final event. All right, that is it. Looking forward to Sunday's programme and Fight Hero as well, of course.
Yeah, slightly earlier start with that race from Korea coming through simulcast-wise.
Yeah. Looking good. It should be a really good race, that Korean one. Be interesting to see tactics of Fight Hero because it does suit the horses on the pace.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's the show. Thanks for watching. On behalf of Paul, Brett and the rest of the team, hopefully we'll see you at Sha Tin where we will be racing to win.
Good night.